In this video, we're going to be talking about the difference between colliders and rigid bodies. Let's start with a rigid body. So a rigid body is a component that allows a game object to react to real-time physics. So for example, if I wanted it to be affected by gravity, I would use a rigid body. Otherwise, it will just float in space. And I'll show you an example of that shortly. And it's actually really simple to add. So if we go into our game object, so we have Daryl the shark here, moves up and down. We're going to go add component. And if we type in rigid body, we'll see rigid body as well as see rigid body 2D. With this being 3D, you want to click rigid body. And over here, you'll see a couple things. So you'll see mass, which is something you can scale. So you can increase its mass. You can lower its mass as well. Drag, so how slow it falls or how slow it will increase if that's how you set it up. And then angular drag. But let's keep drag at 0. Sorry, keep drag at 0. And we'll keep mass at 1 for now, right? So this is what allows Daryl to feel gravity. So let's start this off. So we'll go over here, we'll press play. And if we watch, Daryl will now fall and continue to fall forever. Zoom out really, really far. Let's do it this way. Game, we'll set it up as a side panel. So here, game, press play. I'll give it a little more space here. Watch, and if we watch, we'll see that Daryl just falls for absolutely ever. Good stuff. But what is a collider? A collider is a basic shape that allows a collision to occur. So let's take a look at it. So if I were to add a collider, as you can see here, there are a whole bunch of different options. There's box collider, there's 2D capsules, circle, you can do custom colliders, polygon sphere, a whole bunch of different options. Let's keep it really simple for now, and let's just look at the box collider. I click on the box collider, and I will see that there are, I'll go back to Daryl, that is now this green box around it. So what if I want to change it? I click on edit collider, just go in and I can actually move it, make it a little smaller. Let's go here. Let's rotate around our friend Daryl here so we can see. So now, gotta straighten that up. It's not really centered on him. Let's pull it over here a little more. Bring that a little tighter. Zoom out a little bit. What else we got here? Okay. Let's just move in and see what we can do with this box collider to make it a little better. You know, tighten it up a bit. You get the point, right? You can change it, you can move it around, you can kind of create a better collider so it's more accurate. But what is the point of the collider? As I said, it allows for collision to occur. So here's the best example we can have. So we see Daryl right here, right? Let's turn off the box collider for now, and let's just press play. Let's see what happens. If we watch, Daryl falls straight through our plane, falls forever, right? If I turn my box collider back on, and I press play, let's watch our friend Daryl go, boom. He hits the plane. So we actually can have that collision event. And you can set this as a trigger, for example. So something occurs when it happens. Another thing you can do, which is really interesting, is if we go to our ground, we'll see it has a mesh collider. So what that mesh collider is, that's a 2D mesh. So it works along this entire plane here. If I turn off the mesh collider, oh, let's turn off play first. It kind of already showed what was going to happen. So if I turn off the mesh collider and I move our friend Daryl up a bit, we press play, we'll see that Daryl falls straight through it. No collision. So you do need the collision, obviously, on. It's not collision, sorry. You need the collider on both the object, so our actual game object that we're utilizing, as well as the different surfaces. That being said, a really cool thing you could do is if you wanted through code, let's say you had a character who could walk through walls, for example, when you press a certain button. So what you can do through the code, you can actually turn off, you can actually access the mesh collider through code to turn it off.